My dad will be extremely proud. He's definitely one of the, he probably would have shed some tears.
Monica Falkner.
Yeah, I can't explain it. He'd just be so happy and so proud, and thinking about that also helps me just carry on. Me and my dad, it was just me and him until I was 10. Just me with short ass hair, acting like a boy, wearing boy clothes, and the 1 or 2 times he'd ever take me shopping, it'd be at Farmers, and all the pants would be too short because I was actually quite tall for my age. I was just his little sidekick, I think, and everything that we did was together, or the weekends were when you shifted the cows and when one person's standing on that side of the road so the cows don't go down the road and you're stopping cars, but riding motorbikes and just doing things all together all the time. Just me and my dad, just definitely miss him. It's a big hole, but definitely just got to keep trucking along and I think happy memories. I went to a little primary school called Nugaho, just about 5 k's down the road. There was like 60 people, I think, and 3 classrooms. I started playing netball, I want to say when I was 5. I can't exactly remember what happened back then, but it was just probably the only sport that was offered at primary school. But I was also quite good at it, and then went to high school and I played in year 9, and then I didn't get selected for the team that I wanted to in year 10s. I was pretty much told I wasn't good enough and I was too small and there was better people out there, and so I gave it up. I went got a job, worked at a fish and chip shop for that year, and then when I came back in year 11 I fell in love with it again and really enjoyed it, and a new coach came in and played prems and went to under 15s and also under 17s. I started getting identified and making tournament teams then. Got a secondary school trial in year 13, 2013, but didn't make it, didn't even make possibles or probables. Once I left school I moved to Rotorua. I played under 19s for Eastern Waikato and then moved up to Hamilton 2015, played under 23s. I didn't know if I was going to get any game time at all. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just there having a good time and really enjoying my netball. It was also my dad's last tournament, that 23s tournament. So he came and he was quite sick then, and he was fighting cancer for 7 years. I think the first time was in the end of 2008 over Christmas. He went through, got chemo and all of that sort of stuff, and he was still bright and chirpy. Had surgery, came back milking cows a week later, so nothing could really stop him then. And then they pretty much said in 5 years' time it'll probably come back, and exactly 5 years' time it came back. Because it was his brain, he was losing kind of all kind of sense of kind of everything, and it was hard to get a conversation out of him, and he couldn't remember anything, and he'd kind of look at you but it'd be like looking through you. But any little bit of time that we got to spend with him was great. I got shooter of the tournament in that tournament, which was crazy considering I kind of hadn't been in any of the teams. To have that as Dad's last tournament was pretty awesome. I ended up moving home just because it was not getting any better. We had a lot of visitors at that time, and on the night before he passed away, everyone left. It was just us at home, and it was the first time we hadn't had visitors in a long time. And I think that was his time where he just thought, I don't need to be awake for anyone, and it's quiet now. So and the next morning he passed away. It was hard. For the next 6 months I didn't go back to Hamilton, and it was quite nice just to be here. I think that was the hardest time. I don't think I did any training, and I kind of just was just distant from a lot of people, and just kind of gave myself a bit of time. Just remember him on the sidelines saying, "You've got this, Monix," or "Shoot it," or "What was that?" And his voice definitely stuck out a lot, and his presence on the side was huge. And when that wasn't there, or when he was there and not saying anything, it just felt different. After a couple months, maybe 3 months, I went and got a job at a pharmacy and was just trying to keep myself busy from there and trying to plan and navigate my way through, and started training and trialling for Becco and all that sort of stuff. Got caught into a few magic trainings, so that was also like a little stepping stone to pushing to what I wanted to do. We had a Raro tour and I had made that, and I remember because we went into camp for 3 days and then the team to go to Raro left the next day but got chosen at camp. And I remember sitting there and Kitty was the coach, and she said that I was going and I just bawled my eyes out. Like, I don't even know if it was because I was happy to be going or because what it took to get there, or like the whole year that I had. It was kind of a big emotional roller coaster. It was a pretty unreal trip, to be fair. Just the whole atmosphere. We got assigned a school and the school came all dressed in black and cheering so loud in the crowd for us, and we had quite a lot of family come over as well, which was amazing. The final against Australia, it was amazing.
So Falkner fakes as it drops in. New Zealand in no rush to get this ball in. Champions are New Zealand.
Our celebrations began back at the hotel with all our family, and then pretty much all the teams that were at our accommodation came and joined us as well, and it was just one big Youth World Cup celebration, I guess. It was pretty unreal.
If you're back in New Zealand watching this, then you will be incredibly proud.
Went into trials, not expecting anything, but to sit on the bench for 7 games and not get any game time or anything was quite hard. But again, everything kind of happens for a reason in that sort of space, and when your time is right, your time is right. Doing my ACL at the Cadbury Series was tough. I had a long time to think about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to come back, I guess, and I didn't actually know how I was going to do that, because when you're lying on the couch with your knee up and you can barely move or bend your knee, you kind of don't know when or how or if you're going to come back. The frustration kind of set in around that, because I was like, I don't have time for this.
Or just like as far as you felt?
And then as you get along, you're like, well, it's actually better to take longer to get back than trying to push it and then redoing it and then being out for another whole year. I think it taught me a lot of patience. Once the Magic season in ANZ was finished, I was like, right, that's like 2 months right now until the Ferns camp. And I want to be 100% ready for that, even if I'm on managed load, which I was, because nobody can come from an ACL and do 2 trainings a day with the Silver Ferns. It's kind of impossible. I went into the camps not expecting anything. I went into just to play, just to get my legs moving, just to get ball to hand and kind of get back into netball. And I was, what a way to do it, is at Ferns camps. And Ferns environment is so accepting, and they encourage you to listen to your body. And that was huge for me, I think, because if I knew that I was kind of being frowned upon by sitting out of a training or doing something else because of my knee, I think it would have broken me a little bit. But knowing that you can come back from injury and that the support is so huge, and they really manage everything, and then kind of everything from there was a bonus, but then everything, you're like, oh wait, I'm here for a reason, and I've got to switch into more competitive mode and start really pushing and stamping my mark. It was an unreal tournament, and especially for New Zealand in this whole time. It was great getting back out on court, and especially the build-in, I played for NZA against the Ferns, which in my mind was kind of the best case scenario, was playing against the best team and the next best team, and actually doing quite well. And then it gave me a little bit more confidence to go into the Ferns, and then we played the men, and oh my God, the they're unreal athletes, they're so big. But no better way to push yourselves than against them. To get my debut in Hamilton was amazing, and I guess having the family behind me in the stands, that kind of made it real, and also missing the people that weren't there. As a child, it was always a dream.
15 months out with an ACL injury, and Monica Falkner finally gets her Test debut.
And in that moment, I think you probably would have just been super proud.
Silver fern number 176, Monica Falkner.
Every day I think about it, and like I'm real sad that he's never got to see this part, because this part of my career is what I was aiming for so long, and for him not to be able to see this. Well, he's probably watching, but like here, and to be able to talk about it, because we'd analyse the games. He was a mad sports fan, so I think if I played anything and got to that level, he would have just been proud.